There's something about retirement that nobody really explained to Gen Xers. And if you are in your 40s, 50s, and 60s right now, you probably feel it. We grew up a simple formula, right? Go to school, get a job, work hard, and then you'll be able to retire someday. But somewhere along the lines, the formula quietly changed. And a lot of Gen Xers are starting to realize it. My name is Kim, 53 years old, and recently something happened to me that forced me to rethink everything that I ever believed as far as income, financial security, retiring. I got laid off from my job second time in the last 10 years. Now, obviously, layoffs happen all the time, but what surprised me the most about this layoff specifically is what I realized afterwards. Because I started to actually think and started to ask myself that I never really thought about before. What is the retirement for Gen Xers? And before we go any further, I want to ask you something. You watching this video right now, are you part of Gen X? Meaning, are you somewhere between the ages of 43 and 58? And if you're a little older, that's okay too, because this still applies to you. Comment Gen X if you are part of this wonderful generation. But real quick, if you are over 40 and you want to learn how people our age are building a backup income stream online, make sure you subscribe to this channel. And if you want to see the blueprint, the step-by-step process on how making money online works online for our generation, check out the link in the description below. Now let's talk about something very interesting about Gen X. We're actually really unique. We grew up without the internet. We adapted to technology, taught traditional career paths. And what's crazy is we didn't grow up with this or social media, which blows my mind. Can you imagine not being able to text people? Just something that like, hey, FYI, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Can you imagine having to pick up the phone, dial, and actually talk to someone? It's just for just a 2-second conversation. It's crazy. But we've lived through massive economic change, and many of us followed the exact financial advice we were given growing up. Work hard, save money, build a career. Don't take chances. My mom always said to me, don't get a commission job. Make sure you always get a salary job. Was it the best advice? I don't know. But over time, things just slowly shift. And let me ask you, did you expect to feel more financial security by this stage of life? Let me know in the comments, because I can tell you, I thought I would be in a much better situation. Because I did what my parents did, and it's not working, and it hasn't been working for quite a while. And many Gen Xers followed this advice as well, and they feel as though they should be further along than they already are. And for me, this wake-up moment not necessarily came when I got laid off, but it came about a few weeks after. But of course, let me explain my layoff story. And if you've been laid off, let me know your story in the comments. CEO sent an email one morning, random Thursday, saying that there was going to be layoffs. And if you were affected, you would receive a calendar invite. Of course, a couple minutes later, I see that invite. I texted a coworker and I said, did you get the invite too? She said, nope. I said, here we go. I knew exactly what was going to happen. And my entire life, my entire financial security depended on one paycheck that I did not control. It could be taken away at any moment. And it was. And if you're watching this video, you've probably done everything right. Just you worked hard, you showed up, you worked weekends, you worked holidays, you sacrificed time away from your family for your job. I can't tell you how many Christmases I was supposed to be with my family, but instead I was stuck working. And you're probably like me. You tried to save as much as you could, but between life-getting expenses, medical bills, we had to fight through cancer, heart attack, all the things, all the unexpected things that we do not expect to happen. I tried to do what I could for my retirement, but it just isn't enough. And a lot of people our age are quietly feeling uncertainty and panic, right? And most importantly, uncertainty of what retirement will look like. But here's the interesting part, because when people start feeling that uncertainty, they start to ask different questions. So instead of, how do I hire in my job? They start to ask, how can I build an additional income stream and something that I can control. And that's when people started to discover something surprising. Because when I started to research online income, I discovered something called digital products. And if you've ever heard the term before, it simply means people buying stuff online. This includes bachelor's degrees, right? Master's degrees. It blows my mind that you can get a degree from a college that is thousands away and never step foot out of your home. It blows my mind. But regular everyday people are doing this too. They're selling online courses, training programs, DIY stuff, guides, any kind of educational content. And what surprised me is how many regular people, especially our age, were building businesses around them, income that they control. Not huge companies, just regular people. Many of them over 40, 50 years old. So while I was stuck working a full-time job, relying on one paycheck, people were out there quietly building additional income streams. Not because they were influencers or in their 20s, not because they were famous, but because they learned a simple system. So let me ask you something. Before today, have you ever thought about learning how to make money online? Let me know in the comments below. Maybe you were curious, maybe you've tried it, maybe it worked for you. And I'm just curious how many people are discovering this idea, because it's definitely something that people our age don't think about. So I personally discovered a blueprint, which simply is a step-by-step system that teaches people how to build online income using digital products and social media. So instead of trying to figure out everything on my own, this process is actually mapped out for us. And this is what makes it so much easier for people to understand how this works. First off, if this video resonates with you, I want you to do two things. Number one, don't forget to subscribe. And because I'm going to keep sharing everything that I'm learning about additional income streams. And then of course, second, if you want to see the blueprint that explains how this works, it's completely free. Check out the link in the description. My best month working a full-time job was an extra $4,200 while working my full-time job. So if you have a cell phone Wi-Fi 2 hours a day, and you can build this business throughout the nooks and crannies of your day. So you don't have to sit in a 2-hour slot. You can do a half hour before work, an hour during work, maybe a half hour after work. That's it. And remember this. Gen Xers may not have been given the retirement plan that we expected, but we still have time to create new options. We still have choices out there because of the internet. So you have two choices. You can stay as you are, not do anything, and just hope and pray that you'll be able to retire one day, or you could check out the blueprint in the description and just see if it's a fit for you. If it's not, no big deal. At least you took the time to see what it is, and at least you know you have options. Now, if you want to learn more information, you can check out this video that is popping up here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.